At the time of 14-year-old John Zera's death in 1976, Elaine Samuels was an associate medical examiner for Milwaukee County. She's the one who performed the autopsy on John's body, and decades later, her shoddy work would continue to be a source of frustration for investigators.
Well, she had an unusual collection of body parts that she had illegally kept for herself in jars of formaldehyde. They were reproductive organs. Maybe that's the nicest way to put it. And she wore these big, thick bottle glasses, and I just think of Elsa Lanchester in a monster movie. I mean, she was very odd, and I'm sure she was a nice person, but there were these quirks about her.
And I got a phone call from her one morning, frantic, and she was convinced that someone was trying to kill her. And she said she had been driving home the night before and her car burst into flames. It was a mechanical issue and not evil doing. But that didn't calm her down. She was quite convinced that somebody was after her and someone was trying to kill her.
Dr. Samuel's strange personality and her collection of testicles weren't the only things about her that made headlines. In the mid-1980s, her competence was also called into question.
In 1985, I was a cub reporter covering criminal cases and the legal system in Milwaukee, and came across this situation with Dr. Samuels and these botched cases that she was investigating. Her lack of qualifications was a problem for her, and it's a problem for the district attorney. It was a big problem for the district attorney because, as you might imagine, defense lawyers were quick to pounce on the fact that A, she was eccentric, B, she lacked the proper qualifications, and C, there'd been a history of some bizarre behavior, then ultimately with these test results that had been mangled.
Samuel's job was eliminated in 1986. In 2001, when Detective Kent Schoonover reopened the investigation into John Zera's murder, he tracked her down and asked her about her work on the case. When we tried to get in touch with her recently, she didn't return calls.
I was looking for something in 2001 and on. I was looking for the swabs used to collect the samples. They no longer exist. She claims that the cops from Hales Corners told them to throw her away. Well, I personally don't believe that happened. I wouldn't want to think that a cop would tell someone to throw away some evidence, But the fact remains, it doesn't exist. It's nowhere to be found. So something happened to it. Is she putting the blame on somebody else? It could be. To be truthfully honest, I really wish that medical examiner never touched that body, never did the autopsy on John. I wish someone else in that office did the work. Would there have been better results? Would better evidence been collected? I'd like to think so, but there's no way to know for sure.